Hey everyone, welcome to episode 4 of 0 to 50K. In this series, I'm taking you along on my journey as I run my first 50K, first ultra, first trail race. So this past weekend, I ran a 10K. Unfortunately, I chose a short course again, and it was only 6.1 miles, but I probably executed my strongest 10K to date. My goal was to run 6:20s for the first 3 miles and then kind of cut things down the last 3 miles and really race. I ran a little bit faster than 6:20s, but I definitely went out a lot more conservatively than I have in any other 10K. So that first mile was not my fastest mile, which was really awesome to run a steady race where I felt strong pretty much through the finish. I always feel a little bit disappointed after a short course where you have the potential to PR. My pace was about 3 seconds faster than my current PR pace for a 10K, so it would have been a sub 39 if the course was legitimately 6.21 miles. Unfortunately, it wasn't, so I'm obviously not taking the PR, but it kind of helps me know that next time I race a 10K that's certified, I will definitely be shooting for a sub 39, probably a 38.50. So that was really encouraging to see that improvement at that distance, since my 5K a couple weeks ago did not feel like it was showing that much progress. I also came off of a 60-mile week, which was encouraging to be running on tired legs. Going into the race, I felt like I was coming down with a stomach bug too, and luckily race morning that went away and I felt pretty okay. One thing that I did notice is that I feel like I'm lacking some strength, and I have started working with a personal trainer in person once a week, but I noticed that I've kind of fallen off of the strength that I've been doing on my own. So I'm thinking that that's something that I really need to focus on going forward, is getting back into those routines. So the day after the 10K, I did a 3-hour trail run. My goal was to tire my legs out on the 10K and then do the 3-hour trail run. I got so lucky because the race director for my 50K organized a group training run on the 50K course for that morning. So I showed up and there were 30 other runners who were heading out there, and we did the first 9 miles of the race, which was really good because that's where the most elevation gain is. And I was following 2 guys who were very experienced trail and ultra runners, both had done 200 milers, and I kept up with them, which I think was probably a bad sign because I probably should have slowed down in the first half of the run. And so I walked when they walked, and I was kind of talking to them and learning a little bit more about trail running and kind of getting some advice from them, which was really nice. But they stopped around mile 5 to use the restroom, and I wanted to keep going. So I went and ended up getting a little bit lost. So I ran more than, we were out there for about, it was a 16-mile course, and I ended up being out there for 17 miles because I went off course a little bit. It was great to get a better feel for what the race will be like though, because they did ribbon the course, and I understand now that that's how I will stay on course. There will also be volunteers out there who will make sure I don't get lost the way I did, so that is encouraging as well. But it was really good to run the course and feel like, okay, I know there's gonna be this much elevation, I probably need to slow it down a little bit. That was a good thing to do. The other thing I really wanted to gain from this run was a better idea of how I should be fueling, because obviously fueling for an ultra is very different from fueling for a marathon or shorter. And so I tried out a few new things. I tried this oatmeal energy fruit concoction from Spring Energy. It's about 300 calories, 47 grams of carbs. I took this as well as some Noon for the first hour and 40 minutes. So I got in probably 350 calories in that first hour and 40 minutes. And then the next hour and 20 minutes, I took this Spring Speed Nut. It's another 235 calories, and I finished my Noon. So I probably took in about 600 calories in 3 hours. Way more than I've ever taken in during a marathon, and I still finished feeling starving. Like, I was so hungry at the end of this run. And after a marathon, I could probably not eat for like 3 or 4 hours because of how jostled up my stomach is. So I am definitely going to use both of these during the 50K. One thing that I've been reading and working on with Paula is that after about 4 hours is when you want to start incorporating fats and proteins. And that's what she recommended to me. So in that last hour, I will probably eat a picky bar, and I'll probably take one more gel for that hour 3 to 4. I need more water when I'm out there, and there's going to be aid stations, but unfortunately the water bottles in my vest are really hard to take the top off and put back on. So I'm gonna get a hydration pack for the back so that I don't have to refill the smaller bottles, and I can actually just do both noon in there and then maybe water in the backpack. So I'm getting some liquid calories as well. So I feel pretty confident in what I'm gonna do for fuel. I also realized that I just have so much more to learn about ultra running and trail running. Probably around mile 9 or 10 of 17, I thought this is so much harder than any marathon I've ever done, and I still have 7 more miles to go. And then thinking that if this was mile 10 of the 50K, I would have 21 more miles to go, and I feel like this is really hard already. So I know that I have to really re-strategize that first half of the race because of all that elevation gain that we're gonna make, and figure out how to just take that a little bit more conservatively, even though that's when I'm gonna have the most energy. So something I think we have to work on in all of our racing strategies is going out a little bit more conservatively so we have energy for the end. One thing that was also really hard was how my body responded to that much time on the trails. I noticed on a lot of the downhills are awesome because you can go faster, which is great, and you can just kind of roll with them, but my back was hurting. It kind of felt like it was being crunched down. And I think this is probably more related to the strength stuff that I've maybe fallen off of a little bit. So trying to focus again on getting back into more core work consistently during the week, getting more consistent strength work in, because it just felt very compressed. And it might have been the terrain because there were some very rocky parts, so stuff that's harder than dirt. And then my hips are again, I shared this with you guys after my 2-hour trail run, they were very sore. They are so sore today. I'm filming this the day after the run, and they are super, super sore. Luckily today is a rest day, and this week is going to give me a really good idea of how much recovery time I'm gonna need after the 50K, and if I will have enough time to really race a marathon this spring. Because after such a big weekend with the race and the 3-hour trail run, how many days do I need to feel normal again so that I can pick things back up and get back into speed and all of that stuff? I am having so much fun doing something different. I feel like there's a lot of pressure removed from this training cycle, and that I'm really just enjoying things so much because I don't have this looming goal of a specific time over my head. I do think this is really helping me progress towards that sub 3 goal and figure out more of my weaknesses that maybe I haven't noticed because I haven't been doing anything that different. So there's only about 3 weeks left until this race, and I do still feel very unprepared. But like I said, I'm just trying to have more fun with it, and I'm really excited. So if you guys have any recommendations for things that I should be doing in these final 3 weeks leading up to the race, please let me know in the comments. I would greatly appreciate it, and thanks for watching.